You know, I hear something about this term quite often, and I don't, with a lot of people out there, especially young people raising kids, I hope that we don't embrace it so much that we raise our kids just where they don't stand for anything, and they don't know how to stand for anything. You know, I've sat in a lot of meetings over the years, and this is one that probably triggers me off on the one I'm getting ready to. But a devil's advocate. You know, you're sitting there and you're talking, and someone's in a meeting and they want to play devil's advocate. Well, you know what? These people don't have a good idea. They they don't have any contribution, so they want to try and trash your idea. Uh, I never saw anyone that said, "Let me play the devil's advocate," and they brought anything good to the table. So if you're a boss and someone wants to play the devil's advocate, find a way to get rid of them. Matter of fact, you should probably put that in your hiring clause. When you want to play the devil's advocate, I'm going to play you out the door. I don't have a problem with you using devil or advocate. It's just that they're not contributing. Now, if you're the employee or someone bringing an idea to the table and your boss says, "Let me play the devil's advocate," why would he do that to you? He should be saying, "Oh, I like that, but let me improve it for you." So if you got someone over you that likes playing the devil's advocate, you got to get out of there, because you're never going to get recognized for what you're doing. You're never going to get the advancement that you deserve, and your idea is never going to get in place or placed in motion like you were hired to do. But so my little bit of that devil's advocate comes up with this term I hear a lot, and it's a free thinker. A free thinker, and I was like, what is a free thinker? And then I went to Merriam-Webster and I come up with a free thinker is someone who thinks independent, they form their own opinions, they think independently of authority. What the hell is that? Well, where'd you get your education and experience to be able to form that opinion? Okay, and then here they go on to further say that a free thinker now, to work with me here. You're a free thinker. You're on your own. But in order to be a free thinker, you're skeptical or you reject religion, religious ideas. What the hell are we thinking here, people? Let me share a term with you. It's called a moron. This is what some people may be thinking. Now, a moron is actually a psychological term. Uh, it used to be used and considered a very valid descriptor of a person's abilities. A person with an IQ in between, say, of a 51 and a 70, uh, well, they were classified as a moron. Well, we know that moron has become more of an insult than a psychological term, so they stopped using that. Well, I can't say they stopped using it because I don't know what every psychologist does, but let me just say it's just become less popular. I'm trying to be open-minded here, like these free thinkers, but I think you're kind of a moron if you're encouraging your kids to think that that's a phrase or something that they want to be associated with. Remember what I said? Devil's advocate pretty much means you bring nothing to the table, you have nothing to bring to the table, but someone let you talk. Free thinker means you just reject it. Well, how do you form your opinion? Absent of authority, but you could be, well, you've already heard me say it all. Oh yeah, I don't know how I'm using the moron. I don't know if I'm using it as a psychological term or an insult. I'm comfortable with using it, but I'd ask you, give some serious thought to that. Like I said, if you worked for me, sat in a meeting with me, if you use devil's advocate, you'd be punched out. I don't mean physically, I mean punched out, gone, ejected. Uh, Free thinker is not something you want your kids to be associated with, at least not in the context we're using it in these days. But I still love you, Heavenly Father. Let these people be thinking. I don't know what kind of thinking they're doing. In Jesus Christ's name, man, it's not so important to say I am. We got to stand for something. Let us stand. Amen.